Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. We are finally on a new camera arm. We're still dialing in the height because the phone likes to crop things in post, despite it looking like it was lined up fine. So a couple of videos before we finally lock it in, but after that should be some pretty consistent camera work. Going to be seeing the new Ragnaloardmon once again. This time trying to focus more on the DNA stuff versus the old BT3 Ragnaloardmon that we saw kind of popping off in its last game. Link that'll be up in the top right if you haven't seen it. Finally getting to play this deck is so very fun, and now we've got Mother D Reaper starting to get played a little bit more often. Low memory game to start things off as the Searcher passes back and forth, but we're going to see the bubbles come down, reduce the cost by 1, making it 2. And that gets the second Searcher underneath. 1 memory to play with. And the Zubamon that was missing from the opening hand that was added with the Ludo is going to make its way into raising. Should give us the red and black source. And Duramon will hit the field nice and early. So 3 memory to play with. The most memory that's been played with at any point in the game so far. Third Searcher underneath, 4th will come in, and we're going to see a second Bubbles come down for free, actually. Up to 4 Searchers already. And the Jerry will make its way into play. 4 memory to play with. Duramon going to reduce the cost to make it a 2-cost Digivolution into Durandamon. And we are going to see the Ace Antibody finally make its way underneath, figuring out whether to take the risk or not. Was looking to Digivolve into that BT3 Ragnaloardmon, but doesn't have the Bryway in hand. So just going to be the 2 checks of security, 2 Searchers go away, and check the top 3, place that Raiji Ludomon out into play, and gain the memory back as a result of the Sakutamon. So, swarm the board, but still in danger. Going to play the Baihumon for 3, gain back 4. 5 costs coming down to effectively 1. And we're starting to build up the stack on the other side. Raiji Ludomon to pass turn, and we're going to have the end of turn DNA Digivolution up for grabs. But first, Baihumon going to force him to trash 2 for every 2. That 4 wide is going to cost him. Going to pop the Jerry, trash, and then blitz for game. A very, very quick end. Just showing that Baihumon tech, whilst it's not the most popular, because it can only go over black, it really does punish wide boards. Does kind of work into Mother D Reaper, forces them to play small, play scrappy. And to the surprise of no one, opening up with a 1-cost choke. This time we can actually build up in raising before going for the search. And the Raiji Ludomon makes its way into hand. Searcher out once again. Next time I'm going to see the Pendulum Feet. No bubbles, but a Searcher and Pendulum Feet are going to come in, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing a loop of that. Daigo coming in for 3. This is going to make it so all level 6 Digimon that come in will get blocker regardless of what's in the stack. Not super useful in this matchup. Reaper, when it comes down, sure, the Suspend might be able to pass it, but as long as they've got that 1 memory, they're not going to lose turn. Bubbles getting those Searchers in stack. And a second Pendulum Feet. Sees the Reaper, the Bubbles, and the Creep Hand. So we're not going to go +2 off of this one. Instead, just going to take the Reaper. Make it known that the game is now on a clock. Here, Ludomon starting to set up. We're just going to have The rookie swing in, Ludomon crashes into the Searcher and dies for it. Digivolution Plug-in will get played. This will let us play the Durandamon without paying its cost, and gets to get the choke to 1 whilst getting that draw power in. So whilst the Daigo, not massive in this matchup, it is a tamer, which does allow you to play the plugins. Pendulum Feet and Security will live. Bubbles, not quite so fortunate, hits into the Durandamon. But Palati's Head will come down, reducing that cost by 4. We've got 2 memory to play with. Duramon is going to swing at the Pendulum Feet, and thanks to the Inherited, we'll pop the 3k. Help us clear the board. And we are going to pass back over 3 memory. Searcher is going to go straight underneath. That makes our 5th Searcher in the stack, 2 away from having game. And he is just going to stall out the clock. Gatekeeper making an appearance for the recovery. Not quite got the sec -1 yet, but the recovery back up is keeping him nice and healthy. Start building up in the back. And Veemon makes an appearance once again. This time we're going to gain the 2 memory back. And that's still enough to trash 1. We're just going to Digivolve for 2 for the KnTElixar, which will end the turn, which should cause the trash, but just going to get that Searcher autopilot to come in straight away and trash a Gaia Force. So it's 1 big removal card off the table. Security just a little bit less scary. That was recovered as well from the Gatekeeper, so that would have been massive value. And of course, whilst Gatekeeper is slowing things down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, these are the sec -1. The longer the game plays until that Searcher does come in to give him Reaper, the more that we're going to get to trash. So since we're sec -2, we can actually swing in for free with a KnTElixar in order to get the Spartamon effect, which is going to give us exactly what we needed. Durandamon, once again, going to be coming in for 2 cost, thanks to Duramon reducing it. And since we are sec -2, no point putting the X Antibody necessarily underneath it. So instead, that X Antibody is going to go under Veemon, and we're going to play the Izzy in order to pass turn. All 3 are black, so we're going to gain the memory back. Going to choke him to 1, end of turn. We're going to get the Veemon trash once again, and then the DNA Digivolve stack. I think that's enough to trash 2. So we're going to get trash 1 off the Veemon, trash 2 off the Ragnaloard, and then the Blitz. Popping 2, 20 cost or less, so that's both the Gatekeepers gone. So the Veemon going to trash the Gaia Force, Crimson Blaze, and a Pendulum Feet, and then we swing in just for the regular attack on the Searcher. So pretty good trashing, definitely not interacting with that massive stack. That's like 2 Gaia Force and a Crimson Blaze, basically all the deck's removal. Ending up in security would have been fantastic for Mother D Reaper if it actually had worked out, but that's not the case. But they're also not out of Gatekeepers either. Once again, recovery +1. And with the sec -1, we actually don't have a means of getting over it. Sure, the Durandamon could go +1, but Ragnaloard doesn't really have a means of doing so. And KnTElixar doesn't have a way of getting up. It can't do damage to security in order to get the Ragnaloard to restand, because that's how it gets its damage off. So we're in a little bit of a pickle. Trying to build up as fast as possible. We go for the Bryway. Check top 3, hit no targets. And the Jerry comes down. May not have seen a Searcher, but as long as there's a Searcher in the top 5, which there is, I'll place that under the stack, making it 7. So Reaper is now live. Successfully has stalled this one out long enough. I'm searching the trash as well to see how many attacks he has. Reaper One swing. Daigo's going to take some memory off, but it's not going to matter all that much. 17k already at security. Hits the X Antibody, which is getting us back a memory, but it's not going to matter. Second Ragnaloardmon, it's already at 19k, so clearly clears that. To 21. Bryway going to take the hit. In we go. It's already restood. The Ragnalord is down, and that is going to be its swinging for game. It's going to finish at a 1-1 draw. Just showing how Ragnaloardmon can definitely go off, even if it doesn't end game. But also just excellent play from the Mother D Reaper deck. May not be the most expensive or the most consistent, but the Red Mother D profile is on the channel for a reason. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you want to see more Mother D Reaper, and especially more Ragnaloardmon, let me know in the comments down below. But until next time, like and subscribe, and we'll see you shortly.